and got over 40 pills for only $99.
I have this friend who might be looking and...
Well, if your friend wants some help, the consultation is free over the phone. No clinic. Steelman Pills sends it in the mail in a confidential package.
I'm on it. I mean, my friend will be on it.
Steelman Pills, going the extra mile to help men with erectile dysfunction.
800-915-9371. 800-915-9371.
There's a lot of people that come up to me that they think that, like, I used
to... That's 800-915-9371.
The Lou Information Station presents Art City Now with Vic Faust.
Hey guys, good morning. 6:05 is the time. Hope everybody's ready to get going on an August 19th. Vic Faust here, Pro Joe as well. Happy Tuesday. What's going on today, boys and girls? We're ready to get things going. 6 a.m. It's always so early. We try to keep it very nice and calm to start the day, not yelling and screaming.
Oh, yeah.
We try. Of course, you know what we do. It's everything St. Louis. What's happening? What are you guys doing? What do you want to promote? Jump in on the chat line if you want to do that as well. Ben has already said hello. Good morning, Ben. Glad you're up and shining and ready to rock and roll with us today as well. When you go through the list of all the things that are happening, we talk about it being the dog days of summer. One more hot day. One more hot day. I never thought I'd say I'd get to the end of it, but here we are, St. Louis. Some weather that's more comfortable is on the way. We're supposed to get that. What'd you end up doing yesterday, Pro Joe? Did you get out in the St. Louis area?
I did not. I stayed home and worked.
In the air conditioning.
I did.
There you go. Not too shabby.
It's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, it is. Once again, I don't know. I mean, yesterday was pretty brutal for a while too. Again, it was. I'm like, oh man, just one more day we get through it. Guys, jumping on the show. You know where you find us, Art City Now. At X, YouTube, and Facebook. That's where you can find us. All stories about St. Louis talk. We do that. We get our guests in occasionally as we had more and more coming. Wanted to make sure that we were technically speaking as we started this show where we should be. You can always give us a call if you want to as well. 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. We covered the stories that are going on. News stories, fun stories, entertainment stories, whatever the stories may be. We get into that with you. Cardinals won last night. They snapped a 5-game losing streak. That was nice. They'll try to make it 2 in a row tonight. It's always good to see that going on. Mizzou football next Thursday, opening night in Columbia. Can't wait for that. Not sure what you guys have going on, if you're going to get into Mizzou football this year or not. We had a really good show yesterday. Talked to my former teammate, Corby Jones. And I remember, if people remember Corby, he was a freshman quarterback when I was a senior. And he really helped change Mizzou. Actually showed Mizzou fans, after 13 years of no bowls and then 17 years of a win, that we could be a really good program. And we say good morning to you as well, Donna. So it was good to have him on that Mizzou show when it comes to every Monday for Mizzou. And anything else you guys have going on today, let us know. Jump in. We'll talk. We'll get everything up and running as we do early, 6:08 on a Tuesday morning. I worked with a guy at one point in time. He called Tuesdays useless Tuesdays. I was like, that sounds so negative. But he's like, hear me out. He's like, Monday, start of the week. He's like, Wednesday, it's hump day, baby. Thursday's Friday Eve. Need I say any more about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Which takes us back to the start of Monday. Do you see where I'm going with that, Pro Joe? He's like,
I do.
Another useless Tuesday.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Eric, that sounds so damn negative. So
but somehow it makes sense.
But when you break it out, it's like every day kind of has something.
Right, except for Tuesday.
But in his story, analogy, whatever you want to refer to it as, everything just shoots towards the weekend.
Right.
Hump day, we're almost to the weekend. Thursday's Friday Eve, baby. Oh, we're here to the weekend. It's like live every day Let's have fun every single day if possible. I blame Projo. I don't know. Sometime last week, he's like, have you ever had a migraine? I was like, I don't think so, because the people I know in my life who've had migraines or are dealing with migraines throughout the St. Louis area, you know it. So I don't even know if I've just been like knocked, maybe with some sinus headaches I've had.
I don't know. I woke up with one last week, so I don't know what it was.
Projo, my gosh, I woke up. I couldn't sleep last night. I woke up with something. I'm like, okay, what did I do to myself yesterday? I'm hydrated, I think. And I was like, maybe I didn't hydrate enough. I work out, but I went and I hadn't jogged in a long time. I was just trying to mix it up. I do all kinds of workouts, rucking, carry 40-pound back up hills. So I went and jogged yesterday for about 45 minutes, and I hadn't sweat like that in a long time. I mean, I sweat a lot when I ruck it, and I was like, maybe that knocked me out.
It was hot out there, and I guarantee
it was hot.
That could give you a migraine if you're dehydrated for sure.
So yeah, I was like, damn, Projo's asking me about this stuff. And then there you go. We'll see.
Well, you can't blame me for dehydration.
If that's the case, you're right.
Well,
No.
it seems to be the way that you explain it.
And I don't know, at about 2 a.m., I was like, where's Projo? Where's one of those sleep gummies that I hear about? I was like, I need one of those bad boys today. That's for sure.
I got some gummies. I'll bring you.
Oh, don't want to do it on this show. Donna says, I like the Taco Tuesday idea. Light it up. Food rules. I don't even know what you mean, but.
Well, wait a minute. There you go. Tuesday has something. It's Taco Tuesday.
Oh, Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. I mean, that's a
it's
pretty
all right.
good thing to have.
Yeah, I get it. But the day, okay, I get it. So it's a food day. Food rules.
Yeah.
Donna says food rules. Yeah, maybe. I get it. Hey, Cardinals won. Back to school was yesterday. How did that go? We could talk about that as well. Anybody have any story ideas? I know I saw pictures over the last week. There were some private schools that started last week. A lot of schools started yesterday. My youngest begins his final year, senior, today. But I didn't see as many people posting pictures. Is it because my friends are older now? Did anybody notice on social media if you were there? I'm just curious. I was like, because remember, there were all these reports out. Don't post your kids as much.
Well, maybe they got the memo.
Hey, post you and yourself all you want, but be careful. Don't post your kids as much. By the way, you can watch us if you're just joining us on YouTube, on X and Facebook, Arch City Now. You can learn more about the show at luinfo.com. All of our network, the 24/7 hour programming. And if you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. 855-282-8255. I do like those ideas. Other things we'll be talking about today. What do you remember from the 80s in the St. Louis area? And maybe because we'll spice up this Tuesday, Taco Tuesday reference. What stores, and I saw this from St. Louis Brick on Facebook. I follow him, I like him. What stores will you not shop at again? Where will you not give your money again? Is it a restaurant? Is it a shop? And I like to think most of the time places are doing a good job, but every now and then something may happen to us that makes us think there is no way in hell I'm going back there. But they may take care of your friends, and 9 out of 10 times everything's great, but something happens to you and you're like, I will never forget that. I'll never forget what happened, and I'm not going to go back there. I'm just not going to do it. I think I shared one of my stories a while back, and with all due respect, it happened with a big group of people at Olive Garden. I was there joining a big group of party of people, and I was like, I'm sorry. Being a former server in college and in between a TV job, I was like, no way. No way, I will never go back to Olive Garden again after what just happened. There is no way in hell. So I'm sure we all have some of those experiences as well that have happened. We can get into those as well. What are you doing today? Last day of the heat. Tomorrow, much better. The rest of the week looks absolutely gorgeous as well. We'll get into that. The St. Charles Data Center up in smoke, gone. Gonzo, we told you it was looking like that was going to happen as well. We'll talk about that today. How about Missouri's own Andrew Bailey? Yeah, he's made a lot of news being the attorney general for the state of Missouri. He quit. He's done. He's got a big job. He's going to be the co-deputy director of the FBI now. It's a St. Louis story in itself. He's going to go join Dan Bongino, and they're both going to report to Kash Patel. Not making this a political show, but a lot of rumblings that Dan Bongino's not happy. So he may be leaving. So all of a sudden they bring, Andrew Bailey. Remember when we did our political show? We told you that Andrew Bailey was one of the people who flew down to Florida.
Mhm.
Remember the story I told you, the intel I got? Andrew Bailey hanging out with Elon. Elon's kids crawling all over him. He's got like a six-pack every other day. And Andrew Bailey went down to Mar-a-Lago to interview for that job. And now he's going to be deputy director. So it's interesting. Sometimes you may interview for a job. You may not get it then, but if you do well, they'll remember you.
Yeah.
So Andrew, that's the insight from the Andrew Bailey standpoint. He flew down to Mar-a-Lago and did it was like an 8-hour interview or something, 8-hour day with staff, Trump, everybody and crew. But I found it very, very interesting. They're adding a co-deputy director. That tells me Dan Bongino's going out the door. And now Missouri is going to get a new attorney general, the governor. Mike Kehoe has a 10 a.m. presser today to announce the replacement. So they'll do that today at 10 o'clock. That was kind of big news in Missouri and the St. Louis area from the political side. See, we can still talk a little politics without getting into politics, right? That works. That's not too shabby.
Pertains to St. Louis.
Yes, it does. It is all over the place. So that's kind of a big deal that's going on. We'll get into that if you want to. You know, here's the other thing. The report came out from the May 16th tornadoes. 22 of the 60 sirens didn't work. They found out that there wasn't good protocol. Thankfully, I mean, most people were healthy and safe because of what happened, but it still goes without saying, you got to have sirens that are working. You got to have a plan in place if something happens again. And 22 of the 60 sirens were not even working.
Now, don't they test those once a month, like every month?
In
I hear
certain
'em-
cities, they do.
Right. Why not that area?
Somebody got fired because of this, so maybe the new person will have testing going on. Buddy, I don't know.
I mean, religiously every month I hear that test. And that's it's got to be the
But
only
will you
area
hear
that
it
I know
where?
of that doesn't do it. Well, Lincoln County, St. Charles County, pretty much everywhere I'm at. Like, I think it's like the first Tuesday of the month. I mean, you're hearing it.
Well, 22 of 60 not working.
Right. That's
I mean,
ridiculous.
here's the thing. At least 5 people lost their life in that tornado. Could it have helped? I don't know the specific things. But if you tour North St. Louis, as I have, you know, with the construction company that I'm involved with, and you're inside and you see the things that are going on, it's a miracle to me that more people didn't pass away. And then you consider the fact that 22 of the 60 sirens didn't work, and there was no protocol in place for getting sirens turned on. They're taking care of it, thankfully. But, I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh, only 5 fatalities. One's too many. We know, but in life, things can happen. There's a continual cycle of life and death, and it can be happy and it can be sad, and all of these things continue to happen. But the report came out. You can weigh in on that if you want to as well. That's going on. So we talked about the data center did not work in St. Charles. It's scrapped. That was a company owned by Clayco was trying to put that in. Clayco's had a lot of success. They do a ton of work across the country based out of St. Louis. They couldn't push that one through to the finish line, though.
Well, I
St.
understand
Charles
why.
residents, baby, signing up 6,000 strong.
Those things,
Came out against that whole data center.
they bring a lot of pollution.
Well, that's what it's alleged.
Well, tell that to the areas. I mean, the alleged part, tell that to the areas that are affected by other data centers.
Fair enough. Touche. Projo, touche. 6:19 is the time. Have you had issues getting any of your mail? I'm like, has that been like my whole life? Allegedly, the 2.5 million pieces of mail really having problems throughout the St. Louis area. That's another study that's been done and a story we can talk about. We told you this was going to be happening too. 106 townhome project where a cemetery is in University City. I'm like, I don't know about that.
They relocating the cemetery?
Well, not necessarily I don't think you can do that, my friend.
No.
But it's like, oh, really? You're going to do what near with the cemetery or near there? Yeah, we can talk. I mean, yeah. They had a situation where it's a wooded area of University City. They would call it the Enclave on Canton, 106 townhomes on a 10.7 acre property on Canton Avenue, which is part of the United Hebrew Cemetery, a 20-acre Jewish cemetery that's been located at the site for more than 180 years. It sounds weird on the outset, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like we need more details. They said they'd be working with the city and have been working on the city for quite some time. The property, which is listed for sale for $1.2 million by its owner, the United Hebrew Congregation. Yeah, they would put it like right near there or there. So anyway, you may see that, may see some news coming up about that. We cover everything: news headlines, entertainment, fun, comedy, music. You got it. We do it, and we try to bring that to you. So we can get into that as well. Also, when you go into restaurants in the St. Louis area, you know, you look around, you see people who are there. You might see what the decor looks like, what the atmosphere is like. Well, servers notice you too. I love this report, what servers notice about people when they come in to eat. And if you've been a server, which I have been, you do notice, you know what kind of, not every time, but a lot of the time you can kind of tell what experience you're going to have. Maybe even sometimes as we get into the whole tipping thing again, you can tell what kind of tips you may or may not be getting as well, no matter what kind of service that you provide and how well the dinner goes. All issues, all things we can talk about. And of course, the final day of the nasty heat that we have had in the St. Louis area. Also, the 10 cities with the projected highest home value increase. Some of these shocked me. Absolutely shocked me what is out there, what they're trying to talk about. And also, anything else that you guys want to get into, anything you want to shout out as we talk about when it comes to charities, businesses, people, good experiences all around the St. Louis area, whatever's happening, let us know. And anything from a St. Louis perspective, we love to cover. Love to do anything and everything we can to cover St. Louis. Cardinals did get the win last night, as we talked about. That was a fantastic thing. Losing 5 straight, finally win and get out of that. Also, from the chat line, we take your comments and your post. That is on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Once again, YouTube, X, and Facebook. Arch City Now, we appreciate it when you like, subscribe, and share the show as well. You can also email us at archcitynow@gmail.com. Once again, that's archcitynow@gmail.com. We get things going from that standpoint. What's going to happen? Who's going to be the new Attorney General in the state of Missouri? That'll be known, or at least they'll say it for sure coming up today. Also, if you guys know of shows, music, acts, things you want to do and promote, we have people who jump in on the chat line. Tonight, you've got the LCD sound system over at the factory. We talked about Alice Cooper's there Saturday. Next Monday night, David Lee Roth. So A lot of big acts, some bigger names, some good shows coming out to the Factory in Chesterfield. By the way, don't forget about Evolution Fest, which is coming up in September, just over a month away. Sublime and Lenny Kravitz headlining on those 2 days, those Friday and Saturday day. If you guys know of anything else, you can go to evolutionfest.com, check out the website, get your tickets. Remember that they're paying $100,000 to the United Way regardless of how much money they make. They're spending $100,000, giving $100,000 to the United Way to give out to people who are affected by the tornado, to those funds. So it's also a massive charity event for people. Thank you for popping that up, Projo. I didn't even tell you about that.
I've had it up.
I know. I'm glad that you. Oh, you mean saved?
Yeah, I keep it up because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. All right, Joe. Way to go, buddy. Just make sure you can get the tickets. It's supporting St. Louis. You want to talk Sam Fender, Public Enemy, The Hives, The Kills, Corinne Bailey Ray. Those are some of the people there. Lenny, that's Saturday and then Sunday. Saturday, Sublime. Sunday, the headliner is Lenny Kravitz. And they got TLC, Maggie Rose, Cutworms. Looking for some other groups that I know. Lawrence Rothman. You can get the passes. They're on sale right now as well. Jump in Saturday and Sunday. Get your ticket for Evolution Fest and support St. Louis, and of course, a great cause. And enjoy yourself. They really, really do a good job. Brings a lot of publicity and more excitement to the St. Louis entertainment scene from that standpoint. Love doing that, especially when Projo's wearing his Kiss shirt. You got your Kiss shirt on today.
Yeah. It's almost laundry day.
The sun. Hey guys, the sun is up today. Sun's shining. It's going to be another warm one. We already know that. We just get ready for it. But we'd love to get you up in the mornings just to have a good talk with you guys, whatever's happening with you. Remember, if you drink your coffee, we were told by the study yesterday, try not to make it a milkshake. If you do, only use fat. Put fat in your coffee. If you have to use sugar, use stevia. We've been told that as well. So we do that. Once again, remember, first day of school stories in the St. Louis area. What business in the St. Louis area are you not going to go back to? Or you probably wouldn't. Things happen when you're in business, and there's going to be issues. There's going to be problems, and it's inevitable. A lot of times it's how you handle the situation and take care of it. Some people do a good job, some don't. Where wouldn't you go back to? Where wouldn't you spend a dime of your money? Those are stories that we'll talk about as well. We'll get into that. Anybody you want to shout out and say, yes, they do an amazing job. On the flip side, you try to go there all the time and promote them because of what a great job that they do and how they've taken care of you or gone above and beyond throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area and what you would like to promote, because the show is about you guys and promoting. And we'll give you both sides of the aisle. You can decide what you guys want to do when it comes to that. And of course, promoting all over the place. So lots to talk about today. Anything else you guys want to jump into as well? Remember, you can email us archcitynow@gmail.com. You can also jump in on our chat lines, which are on our streaming services at YouTube, Facebook, and X. You can also learn more about our program and all the others that are coming up throughout the day at luinfo.com. Of course, Hot Take Central 2.0. Once again, that's Hot Take Central 2.0. They come up at 8 o'clock. Monday through Friday, they follow us. They take you from 8 to 10 a.m. Some fantastic interviews when it comes to professional sports athletes, a lot of good hockey guys. You can get that information there as well. Okay, we're off and rolling. School is back in session. I think the last bit of schools, and correct me if I'm wrong, start today when it starts and kicks off the 2025 school year. Keep us posted with your stories. We love it. And like, subscribe, share the show. Let people know what we've got going on here. Okay. And finally, if you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. Projo is here. I'm Vic Faust. This is Arch City Now. We are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at luinfo.com. We're just getting ready. We're getting you up and moving around this morning. Let us know what's happening with you guys. If you want to promote a St. Louis story, we will do that. And real quick, Donna says Kiss will be honored at the Kennedy Center Awards. All right.
Nice.
Good call from Projo, wearing his Kiss stuff. All right. congrats to Kiss as well. We'll be back. We'll take a quick break with more Arch City Now right after this.
In your city with Kelly and Gordon. It's the hottest happy hour in STL radio.
Hey, everybody, it's Dr. Eric Naputi. Hope you're having an amazing day today. Listen, let me ask you a question. Are you just so tired of the system that's broken, the supposed healthcare system that is not helping you? Listen, if you haven't learned anything over the last 5 years, you have to learn how to take care of yourself. Self-care is the real healthcare. Stop relying on the broken system. Stop relying on the system that got us in this problem in the first place. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I want you to go right now to trybiolimitless.com/ArchCityNow. That's trybiolimitless.com/ArchCityNow. Go check out some game-changing formulas that truly have changed the lives of tens of thousands of people already. We've got a detox formula that has been proven to remove heavy metals and microplastics and destroy parasites in the body. We've got a cell signaling formula that helps improve energy, helps the body burn fat. It helps you actually stop those afternoon crashes, gets you off of all the darn caffeine, and stops you from having to use all those energy drinks that are destroying your health. Check out our Master Microbiotics formula that truly helps change the game for gut health. If you're bloated, if you're distended, if you've got issues with chronic pain and inflammation, that formula can help change your life. Not to mention our Neuro Reboot. Listen, if you can't focus, if you can't function, if your brain is just not where it's supposed to be, the Neuro Reboot peptide formula is amazing for you. And listen, if you're trying to shed some weight or put on some muscle, it's time to get your metabolism to reset. Our cellular reset formula can do that. Go to trybiolimitless.com/ArchCity now.
His last day as Missouri's Attorney General will be September 8th. He'll serve as co-deputy director of the FBI. The governor will appoint someone to fill the remainder of his term. The St. Louis Zoo hopes the addition of 4 new endangered spider monkeys will draw attention to criminal animal trafficking. Federal authorities seized the monkeys, which were believed to have been poached from the wild in 2024. They were sold as exotic pets. The St. Louis Zoo hopes for the passage of the Captive Primate Safety Act, a bill that would regulate the possession of non-human primates for use as personal pets. A St. Louis man and a Troy, Illinois man have been charged after allegedly stealing over $1,200 of product from Menards in St. Anne. Michael Jackson and Seth Blaisdell allegedly took merchandise from the store at 11140 St. Charles Road on August 3rd and took off, reaching a speed of more than 100 miles per hour. Or the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. I'm Jen Austin.
Now, louinfo.com weather, presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports, anytime, anywhere.
Here's your louinfo.com weather update. A few showers or thunderstorms, a slight possibility today. The heat and humidity continue. We'll be in the mid-90s, and our heat index at about 105. Then tonight, we have low cold front dropping in. Might bring us a shower or thunderstorm. We'll be in the mid-70s, and then a break from the heat and humidity coming up on Wednesday. Maybe a shower, partly sunny, upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
St. Louis's new home for the best in sports coverage is STL Sports Central. Find them on YouTube or at stlsportscentral.com. With names like Randy Carricker and Bernie Miklasz leading the way to provide you with the latest news and commentary on all of your favorite St. Louis sports teams, along with great written content and post-game shows after every St. Louis sports team plays. That's STL Sports Central, online or on YouTube.
Join your fellow St. Louis City SC fans at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. All St. Louis area Hot Shots locations are proud to be a part of City on Tap, presented by Michelob Ultra, the official network bringing St. Louis City fans and ice-cold beer together. Catch every exciting moment of the 2025 MLS season at Hot Shots. Since 1990, Hot Shots has championed St. Louis sports, and they're thrilled to keep the tradition alive for St. Louis City SC. Find the Hot Shots near you at hotshotsnet.com.
A legendary weekend is coming to the Lou. Don't miss the Stiefel Charity Classic presented by Compliance Solutions, September 4th through 7th at Norwood Hills Country Club. Watch PGA Tour champions compete and enjoy a live performance by music sensation OAR at Friday's community concert presented by CarShield. Tickets start at just $20. Kids, military, veterans, and first responders get in free. Get your tickets today at StiefelCharityClassic.com.
Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It is Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust. Projo in the house as well. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., bringing you everything from a St. Louis standpoint, talking what's up in our neighborhoods, what's going on in the area, the town, the headlines, and so forth. A couple of the topics, just reminding you we're talking about today was anybody have any back to school issues, stories, bittersweet moments, everything from that standpoint, let us know. We'll get into that as well. I did want to, Cardinals last night won. They snapped a 5-game losing streak down in Miami. They won that game 8-3. Cardinals back on a roll. Let's see what they can get done moving forward with everything. Also, sad story here. Really, really sad story. 40,000 pounds of good, fresh ribeye was destroyed in a tractor trailer accident yesterday.
I heard about that. I bet that smelled delicious.
Yeah. Oh, maybe a little overdone.
Yeah.
Considering it was a tractor trailer fire. Like, what the hell happened? 44,000 pounds of ribeye going up in smoke on I-44 yesterday. Something happened with the truck that they were driving. And when I saw the headline come down, I was like, oh my gosh, 40,000 pounds of ribeyes destroyed on I-44 in a truck accident. Some sort of, officials on scene described it as a total loss. And yeah, it does. It gives new meaning to wanting your steak well done.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, some way, they said that the truck just caught fire. I guess because it has electrical, trying to keep it all cool.
Yeah, probably the refrigeration unit or something.
Refrigeration unit goes. I wonder if that beef is insured. 40,000 pounds of ribeye. I wonder if that means or meant that some of your favorite places will be out of steak for a little bit.
Or if it's going to raise the price any.
Or if it's going to raise the price with the old supply and demand. No word on what caused the fire, though. Yeah, it's got to be electrical.
I would think so.
40,000 pounds of beef. You know, when those guys go out there, all the jokes. I mean, they're like, yeah. And it probably did smell pretty good. Although, does a burnt steak smell good?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I mean,
well, it's not as if they, sauteed this beef. It's not as if they put certain spices and everything else on it.
I mean, you can drive by a Burger King and smell that broiled goodness.
Yes, you can. That is the voice of Projo. So just a sad state of affairs. 40,000 pounds going up in smoke. If everybody was wondering or driving yesterday, wondering what was going on or wondering what that good smell was, that's what happened.
I'd have pulled over with a stack of plates and started selling them for $5 a pop.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down, my friend. So, steaks going up in smoke. I brought this up a little bit earlier too. The United States Postal Service's Inspector General did its audit of several St. Louis mail facilities and said, quote, systematic issues. So if you're wondering what's happening with your mail, we've got some issues in the St. Louis area. Unfortunately, one center broke a record for the longest delayed mail backlog in USPS field audit history. Congratulations, St. Louis. We are the slowest mail service, at least one of the offices, is what they said.
Do you remember when you could send something within state and it would arrive overnight?
Yeah. Do people really, are you using that much mail still?
I haven't used it.
I don't use that much mail anymore.
Right.
checks in the mail. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't happen anymore, or shouldn't happen. But that does happen sometimes with some of these mortgage companies, and where we're dealing with, insurance and taking care of homes and things like that. I have seen that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Snail mail? Really? That's how we're going to do this? The Inspector General's office released the audit findings, which they said it covered 2 distribution centers, the St. Louis Processing and Distribution Center and the Network Distribution Center, and 7 delivery units that they service, which include the main post offices in Baldwin, O'Fallon, and St. Charles. In St. Charles, then the Maryville Gardens and Southwest stations, and the Clayton and Creve Coeur branches that were affected in this audit. They said that the Processing and Distribution Center had more than 2.5 million delayed pieces of mail. That is insane. Between June 3rd and June 4th. The largest delayed mail volume since the field operations reviews began back in 2021. Allegedly, they're trying to make sure that they can take care of all of these issues right now. But if you were wondering, we just want to make sure you know that a report did come out to make sure that this stuff could change. Ann Wagner, she's congressional representative for the district. She says that, quote, this goes beyond mere incompetence. Worse than we ever thought. Wants firings for people in charge. So they're going to have to wait and see what happens with the damn mail. I mean, it's easy for the politicians to say that, but what are you going to do to change this? I brought up, I guess it was last week, there are people where I see it just, they're busting. I see people who bust their butt, and I see people who don't. And I see people who act like they like their job, and I see people who don't. But I don't care. When I walk in, I feel like a presence. It's like, and maybe it's nobody wants to be there. I don't feel like there's a positive vibe.
Where's this at?
The post office, if I ever have to go in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to go in a lot.
That and the DMV.
That is so damn true. The DMV, the D stands for damn. Damn. We're finally done. Get out of there. Those things are not good, not fun. From the chat line, bring back the Pony Express. Good morning or good afternoon to you too as well. Angie, Greg says, teach the people that deliver how to read numbers written out. 1, 2, 3 Main Street. Okay. Donna says, I still use the mail. I enjoy receiving mail from friends and family. You can keep the bills. Thank you. Well, of course you can keep the bills. That's not a lot of fun. But that story is one that was going on, just promoting that, making sure everybody still was happening from a St. Louis standpoint. Not a great deal. Where would you not spend your money in the St. Louis metropolitan anymore? In the St. Louis metropolitan area anymore? Where have you had issues? And or where would you go back and you keep going back, promoting people and or businesses here that take care of you and whatever you're doing. We love to get that out. You let us know who we can promote. Put it out there. We'll talk about them. We'll give them the credit that they deserve. We love to do those things that are happening around the St. Louis area.
I know one that I boycotted a long time ago.
What is this? Was it a restaurant?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
McDonald's.
Oh, okay. And and why was that?
They tried to serve me raw meat.
Oh my Lord.
Mm-hmm. I actually got halfway through the sandwich. I was eating in the dark, got halfway through the sandwich and realized it was just like raw in the middle.
I had a similar instance happen about a month ago. Because I was just trying to up the protein. So all I ordered was, and this was at the McDonald's I was driving through. It was on Highway K in St. Charles.
Mine was Winsville on Pierce.
And I ordered, it was just a double quarter pounder without cheese and onions and an extra quarter pounder patty. And so I'll eat that meat. I'll take off one of the buns and then I'll eat one piece of the bread. Waited 15 minutes. So I figured I was waiting 15 minutes because it was a special order. It because we all know service industry, they can't handle a special order in a quick amount of time anymore. Everything is mass produced service to get you through. So if you upset the apple cart even a little bit, it's going to take you a while. So I'm sitting there patient. Here's your food, sir. Oh, you're welcome. The kid handed it to me, walked off pretty quick. I'm like, so I start to drive away and I kind of look in the bag and I'm like, oh, that seems weird. I don't know. It just doesn't seem as heavy as normal. So I pull out, get back in traffic, and I look down and I open. They gave me 2 buns. There was no meat, nada, nothing. I was literally served the buns with the dress or with the toppings on it, minus the onions. Like there was mustard, little mustard, ketchup, pickle, I think they had on there, and no meat. Not 1, not 2, but 3. No meat.
There's no way that was accidentally done.
You don't think so?
How do you? I mean,
yeah, but I wasn't a jack arse. I was kind and sweet, and nice the entire way. It's like, what's going on?
I don't know. I just feel like that is how do you forget that part?
I don't know. I have no idea. 0. But that was the only. I mean, that's one that. So I call them, and it takes like 15 minutes for them to answer phone. So I'm driving. I'm like, I don't even care. I'm on a road for 25 minutes or 30 minutes. I do not care. I'm going to continue to call. Somebody finally answered. God bless her soul. You could barely understand her. I had to go back in. They gave it to me though. I went back, not then, but I stopped back by like 6 hours later, and they gave me the whole stuff free again. But it was an ordeal when I went back in. They're like, well, what's your name? We couldn't write your name down. And they had a Chuck. I was like, maybe a Chuck came from a Vic. I don't know. But that was about a month ago that I dealt with one of those situations in the St. Charles area at McDonald's on Highway K.
See, mine was years ago, and they refused to give me my money back or anything. So that's why it was such a big stink. Yeah. I made a whole video about it, went kind of semi-viral. We got 115K views. So,
all right, there you go. Yeah. Do you feel better?
I did at the time. I did at the time because it was like, yeah, I mean, you can't treat people like that and get away with it.
Well, you shouldn't be able to, but that stuff can happen. Right. You know that. Unfortunately, those things can happen.
Well, I was going through the drive-thru at 2 a.m. and they were standing outside smoking. So I interrupted their smoke break. So that's why they went in, threw the meat on the grill, browned it real quick, threw it on a bun, and put it in the bag.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Hey, Vic, guess whose birthday it is today? Slick Willie.
Thank you. Happy birthday to me. Just everything's good in life. Just leave me alone, please. Still. That McDonald's, stay away from it.
Oh, my God. It is, Bill Clinton's birthday. So if today's your birthday, you share it with the former president, Bill Clinton. I've seen pictures of him recently. He didn't look like he was doing so well. I mean, obviously we age. It's like I said, it's part of the life and death cycle that we haven't here that we all go through. So yeah, he doesn't look that great, but it is what it is. Also from the chat line, hiring employees who cannot read English. One male person was continually misdelivering in my neighborhood. We were taking mail to each other. That's not what's supposed to happen. Misreading. And you can also get into a quick job too. If anybody's in the mail industry, there's a lot expected of you. There were budget issues and the staff wasn't as big as it was supposed to be. A lot of places to get to as well. Maybe that can make an issue for people as they're trying to move in and out of everything that they're doing. So, we're just trying to share those stories. We appreciate when you guys jump in on the chat line as well. YouTube, X, and Facebook. Once again, that's YouTube, X, and Facebook. It's Arch City Now. It is Tuesday. The sun is fully up and shining at 6:48 on this August 19th. Another hot one in store. You've heard the updates. Today's the last day, at least for a week that I can see, where we don't have temperatures in the 90s. So it makes it a little bit better. Looks like a gorgeous weekend coming up. Looks like a good rest of the week as well after today, but it looks like one more day that we must get through or find a way how to get through the heat. The heat is that's coming through. Talked about the Cardinals winning. Life is a little bit better for me, at least. A little bit. When the Cardinals win, it feels good. It's still something that I watch, have it on in the background. If I'm not up and doing things from that standpoint. Also, where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing these days? Are there places that you like to promote if you're going to go out and spend your money in certain places? Where are you doing that? Where don't you want to spend your money right now? Where have you had some of those bad experiences that it just burns you so bad you're like, there is no way in hell I would ever go back to that business, that restaurant, that bar, that whatever. But on the flip side, where do they do a great job? Those are the kind of things that we're talking about as well. You guys can jump in on the show. Let us know if there's anybody that needs to be shouted out in a positive way for anything that they're doing. Any charities, we love to do that as well. Events that are coming up, what's happening throughout our entire area that we can talk about, that we can focus on as well. And then the other thing, which Missouri becomes a national headline again, is Andrew Bailey. You know, we had him on our show a previous time. He used to come on our show all the time. Andrew Bailey now joining the government, co-deputy director of the FBI, working under Kash Patel alongside Dan Bongino. So he's leaving Missouri. So he is out as attorney general. And it's so interesting when you look at that position, who the attorney generals have been and where they've gone and what they've done in the state. Josh Hawley went on to become a U.S. Senator. Eric Schmidt, U.S. Senator. And they're both very, very popular, regardless of Republican, Democrat, Independent. They're just very well-known people, very popular. The next guy, Andrew Bailey, comes in, Missouri. What happens? He's now co-director of the FBI. These guys, I mean, that position is launching. It is absolutely launching men into other bigger positions. So it's very interesting to see who and everything, who the actual replacement will be now, because it just seems like there's been a lot in Missouri, in the St. Louis area as well, where people, where you're having to do a lot and make sure that things are happening. Hiring employees. Oh yeah, he said that. We already got into that. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show as well. We already talked about that. You can also email us if you want to. Joe's on those emails, checking it out. archcitynow@gmail.com. Once again, that's archcitynow@gmail.com. From the chat line, Greg had a situation where so he says he received an order that was nothing close to what I ordered at the Jack in the Box. The drive-through person argued with me, telling me that's what it was. That's what I ordered. Gave them receipt and bag of food, still argued. I got called racist because I asked if there was anyone who could read the receipt. Haven't gone to them in 10 years. Okay. All right. Some of those stories happen. They do. Sometimes those stories happen. I'm trying to remember somebody, I thought I had an issue with the dry cleaners or something where I'd paid and the dry cleaning wasn't there. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't say anything. Like, and that's the other thing about tipping. We got into that whole tipping. I was asked about tipping again. Like tipping. If you know the people or if they know you, it's like, okay. Or if you do a show, it's like, oh, you guys suck, but damn, I got to tip you because of this. And those things happen. Oh, I can't even get into that. I got a funny text. Well, yeah, we can't do that. That's all right. But that's a big story. So anyway, it's a 10 a.m. press conference today where Governor Mike Kehoe will announce the next attorney general for the state of Missouri. And there's some rumors out there, but we don't want to put the rumors out. But we'll see who the governor has chosen for that role. And probably be a pretty well-known name around this area, around the St. Louis area too. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to go out there and predict right now. So we'll see. Hey, something else happened. We told you about the need to adopt pets. The Humane Society and the rescues, they're all packed. They can't even take extra animals in. But Animal Protective Association of Missouri, they purchased a property in North St. Louis to expand access to some pet services. They're trying to get some, because there just seems to be so many pets that are out there right now. From the chat line, Donna says regarding Bill Clinton's birthday.
Oh, Donna, you're so cute.
She says, I have a watch with Slick Willie on its face, and his nose grows like Pinocchio. Are you insinuating that he might have lied? Yeah, I think you are. Hey guys, whatever you want to talk about, let us know. Give us a shout out. Thank you for sharing us as well with others. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. You can send out our reels. Anything that you want to do, we'll get that out there as well. Still to come after we'll start at the end of the break too, when we come back from the break. The other thing, first day of school, how's everything gone for people? Do you know anything? Did you see many? I didn't see as many pictures on social media in this last, 5 days or so that I'm used to seeing with people posting pics of their kids. I know there were a bunch of warnings out there. You'll see. Greg says, I know one person that won't be on the AG list, Kim Gardner. Okay. You got it out there. We gave you the airtime to say that. Congratulations. You put it out there. So they won't be on the list. Another one of those stories we're talking about, 22 of the 60 sirens did not work in the deadly May 16th tornado. Whether that was a reason for people passing away or not, we can't prove that. We don't know about that. 5 people did passed away in the May 16th tornado, but now the report has been brought through, and it just shows total incompetence in the city, unfortunately. So they're trying to take care of that right now to make sure that none of that stuff ever happens again. Don't want to be dealing with that. There's no reason for a city like St. Louis not to have the tornado protections in place. There's just none. No reason for that to go. Also, Lona's Little Eats is set to open its second location in Kirkwood. So it's popular Asian food. So if you don't know, we got a shout out about that. Lona's Little Eats is going to open its second location in Kirkwood. So if people are looking for that, looking for another place to get some Asian fusion concept food, you can get that. Known for their rice paper wraps and dumplings. It's been in the Fox Park neighborhood, I don't know, over 10 years. So they're getting ready to open up. It's 612 Woodbine, about a block away from the St. Louis Community College Merrimack campus. So congrats to them. Also, another update when it comes to Katie's Pizzeria, super popular. Over in Rock Hill, they're relocating to another spot within the same plaza. So if anybody was wondering what was going on, they're still in the same plaza, just not in the exact same building. So we appreciate it when people are giving us those updates of things that are happening all throughout the St. Louis area. When it comes to restaurants and things and places that people might be going to check out everything. When it comes to their favorite eats, wherever they may be. So we'll continue to talk about those stories as well when we come through. It's interesting, too. I saw something for people. MSNBC is changing its name, and they're going to lose the peacock logo. Yeah. So we'll talk more about that, too. All right, we'll take a quick break. This is Arch City Now. That's Pro Joe. I'm Vic Faust. It is Tuesday. It's August 19th. We're glad you're with us. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show, promoting it. Another hot, sizzling summer day in the St. Louis area, and we're getting you going on this Tuesday morning. You're listening to Arch City Now. We are your Lou information station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. Back with more after this.
Hey, listen to me. I'm one of the credit cards in your wallet. I'm about to explode.
Hey, did you know that almost absolutely every aspect of your health begins in your gut? Did you know that your mood, your immune system, your energy, your sleep quality, your hormones, and even your body's ability to manage and maintain weight is all about your gut and your gut microbiome balance? Did you know that we actually have more bacteria in and on our gut than we do human cells in and on our gut? Our bacteria tells our DNA what to do, and it tells our cells what to do. And did you know that 95% of the global population has a problem with this system? We created a formula called the Master Microbiotics formula that is an absolute game changer. There's nothing like this on the market. We've taken amazing peptides like BPC 157 and added them to the most prominent bacteria that are normally in individuals who live in the blue zones of the world, who live a happier, healthier, and more productive life, as opposed to those of us that live in the industrialized world that you and I live in today. Literally 2 of these pills per day can help change your life and change it forever. But don't take my word for it. Go look at the amazing results that people are getting with the Master Microbiotics formula. If your gut's out of balance, the rest of your body never has a fair shot. Go to trybiolimits.com/ArchCity now.
Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios in Kirkwood.
Thanks for supporting Daddy.
KLIS 590 AM, Wood River, St. Louis.
Have a great day. This storm, we're going to have to keep an eye on how it potentially could develop, where it develops, how strong it is, and then if it does interact with the islands, how that goes. It's the only other feature besides Aaron that is outlooked as of this morning, so we'll keep our fingers crossed, but we need to be prepared.
Garcia says this system is just west of Africa and has a 50% chance of development by the end of the week. The next named storm is called Ferdinand. President Trump and U.S. European allies expressed cautious optimism Monday about a deal to end the Ukraine-Russia war. Trump hosted Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, European leaders, and the head of NATO at the White House Monday to try and hammer out a deal. Trump and Zelensky spoke one-on-one first, and both called their meeting productive. Every leader, including Trump, has indicated any deal would involve American security for Ukraine to head off any more Russian aggression. The president said he's already spoken to Russia's Vladimir Putin by phone about the developments. President Trump's moving to eliminate mail-in ballots ahead of the 2026 midterm elections.
Ballots are corrupt. Mail-in ballots, you can never have a real democracy with mail-in ballots.
The president shared a post on Truth Social which outlined his plan to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots, and it targets what he called highly inaccurate, very expensive, and seriously controversial voting machines. No one's injured after an explosion on a cargo ship loaded with coal in Baltimore. That incident happened Monday evening near the site of the 2024 Key Bridge collapse. The ship had just left Baltimore Harbor with 23 people on board. From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. You can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes, a very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40, 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 855-SHARE-40.
We interrupt this program for an on-the-spot news report.
News reports on the Lou Information Station are presented by Brown and Crouppen. 222-2222.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get. A full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel, a delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here, and when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you're bringing the whole family or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even need to know your travel dates to lock in the special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198. Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service, better care. 800-891-6335. 800-891-6335. 800-891-6335. That's 800-891-6335.
The Lou Information Station presents Arch City Now with Vic Faust.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. Happy Tuesday. Glad you're with us. I'm Vic Faust, Pro Joe alongside as well. 7:05 is our time. It is a sunny Tuesday morning as we get you rocking and rolling as we do Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. By the way, Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former St. Louis Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. Saw Jim yesterday in the studio at Kirkwood. He's doing well. They take you from 8 to 10 o'clock. I know they have an interview with a hockey player from the American Four Nations team this last year. Jake Gunsel, maybe? I think I saw that. I don't know, but I know they have a big interview today coming up over there. Appreciate it when you guys jump in on the chat line as well. That is Arch City Now. Once again, Arch City Now on X. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. You can also check out luinfo.com. That gives you a rundown of our network, the 24/7 programming, all about St. Louis, mostly based out of our Kirkwood studios. You can learn more about the show, the anchors, the niche programming that we have, just lots of good stuff there. Finally, you can also give us a call if you want to join in. 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. Let us know what you're thinking about. We love the shout outs for St. Louis. We give you the action, the topics that we're talking about, and you guys jump in and talk as you want, and we help keep you going. Okay, from the chat line. Oh, Miss Griner says, my grandson at 3 years old was given a burning hot metal plate with mashed potatoes on it. He put his fingers on them, got second-degree burns. His mom sued TGI Fridays. She got $3,000 for those damages. I guess that was settled out of court. But those things happen. I mean, that's crazy. That's one of the topics we're talking about today is where in the St. Louis area are things so incredible, a business, an eatery, a clothing place, whatever, you name it, that you continue to go back to because they do such a great job. And then on the flip side, where will you never spend your money again? I know there are people who have issues, especially if you're providing service that people get, any kind of service. It may be difficult to make everybody happy, but you may have some of those. You know, some of those things might be happening. I never had my kids get in any trouble or hurt from that standpoint, but it's all about that. Ryan checks in, says, hey, wanted to tell you guys, I start writing at about 6 a.m. or so every morning. I always have you guys playing in my office in the background. Ryan, I appreciate it. We did not pay Ryan. We do not work next to Ryan with this show. Ryan, thank you for the update. Thank you for the shout out. And we want to promote and shout out anybody else, businesses, charities, you name it, anything that's happening throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Cards got a victory last night. They won 8-3. They were due. They had lost 5 straight, but they get the win. That's the important part. They'll look for 2 in a row in Miami later tonight. Mizzou football. getting ready for what could be a really big season. SEC media doesn't think so. They returned 17 starters, selling out all their games right and left with the season tickets, which is great. You can still buy single game tickets. It really is a cool event. It's so much fun to go to Mizzou and do a tailgating day, especially when the weather is good. But next Thursday night, they kick off the season. And yesterday, their athletic director, Laird Veach, said that the brand new stadium project, which is going to, it's going to totally close off the north end of the stadium, which is really cool, where the Block M has been, that it's on budget and on time. You don't hear that a lot of times when it comes to construction projects, but they're getting it done in Como. We're glad to hear that. Some of the stories, topics we're talking about, kids going back, first day of school is here. Any interesting stories? I'm also curious to know and find out from parents how the cell phone rule will affect them, or has it yet? I know some kids started last week. Many public schools started yesterday. There are still, I do know of schools that are beginning today, including my son and his school where they go in high school. So those things are going on. Also, we told you about chiming in on where and what you've enjoyed from a business standpoint throughout this area and what you haven't, as we continue to focus on some of those things that are going on. Also, from an update, today at 10 o'clock, in just under 3 hours, Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe is going to make sure that we know who our next Attorney General is. He'll be letting us, he's going to replace Andrew Bailey. And it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, don't give a damn. Bailey was considered to be doing a pretty good job, very vocal, very involved. And now he has been tapped to be the co-deputy director of the FBI. It's a big position. He did interview for Kash Patel's position. He went to Mar-a-Lago. He interviewed for that position. And now he didn't get it. Kash got it. But now he's joining to work with Dan Bongino. And there's been rumors Dan Bongino may be leaving. So maybe this is a position that Andrew Bailey is going to take over. Of course, it's a big deal because it's a story in the state of Missouri. And Andrew Bailey has done a lot. Spent a lot of time in the St. Louis area. So at 10 o'clock, the governor, Kehoe, will be announcing who the next Attorney General is. And we'll see if it's a St. Louis person. I hear one of the front runners is or was a front runner for that position as well. So we'll know in just under about 3 hours everything that's going down with that. Hey, by the way, if there are stories that we need to talk about or that we're missing, jump in. Let us know. You can do it on the chat line that we've been telling you about. And you do that on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Once again, that's YouTube, X, and Facebook. Arch City Now. And you can also email us, archcitynow@gmail.com. Once again, that's archcitynow@gmail.com. Love it when you guys get involved in the show because, once again, the show is all about you guys and what is going on in your world, what's happening throughout the St. Louis area. And, of course, we'll talk about it. Thought this was interesting, too. When we go to grandma's house or grandpa's house, I guess that would be many of us as parents. You know, I'm not even considering a fourth generation when I say this, but, you know, parents' house. Items that may be at grandpa and grandma's house that could make you some money. They might be worth some worth. And I looked at this and I was like, oh, an AML bulb. An AML bulb 335. AML bulb. I was like, really? That would be of worth to somebody? And it says, yep, the bulb would be. I was like, okay. Then tube radios. I don't even know if I've seen a tube radio since I was a kid. Have you ever seen those classic radios? They sell apparently for a few $100.
No, I've seen them, yeah.
They sell, I guess, collector's items?
Well, and they'll come in handy when, you know.
That's the voice of Projo, by the way. Sometimes you hear him, sometimes you see him, but he is there.
I am here.
On the other side of the studio wall that I look at him through our big, huge glass plate.
Mm-hmm.
Vintage guitars, I can totally see that. A vintage guitar could fetch you about 2K, they say. About 2K. Great old instruments, if you guys have seen those around. How about this? The pocket watch. Anybody have a pocket watch?
I have 2 of them.
You still have some, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see them around very often, but allegedly they can get you some money as well. I was like, okay, pocket watch. Okay, what about this? Nintendo 64s with games.
Probably have it in storage somewhere.
A lot of those in storage,
Mhm.
guarantee. People pay allegedly top dollar for nostalgia. I get it, which is why you can get close to $1,000 for a working console with somebody's favorite games. That sounds like a lot of money to me. I don't know if I'm buying that. I guess it's in the eye of the beholder.
Right. You got to care about it.
Military clothes. If, maybe grandma, if she did something, or they kept military clothes from their parents. I don't know if it's a family heirloom you'd like to keep, but if you didn't, you're talking $900 for like a military jacket. That surprised me a little bit. It's like, oh, okay. Typewriters. I can't remember the last time I saw a typewriter.
Yeah.
$700 for a typewriter. A vintage Monopoly game, but the picture that they show, it looks really, 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 really old, like maybe one from the 50s.
Yeah.
50s, 60s. A folding camera. You ever seen one of those? Joe's a professional photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Would a folding camera still work?
I mean, as long as they have film for it, technically there's no reason why it couldn't unless it has a mechanical issue.
Vintage Barbies also getting a lot of popularity. If you head over there, grandma and grandpa might have saved it from mom, maybe one of those things. But I just thought that was pretty damn interesting when I'm looking at that going, oh, okay. Those are some of the items that people may have. You may see them over there at grandma and grandpa's house. From the chat line, Greg says Pacific, Missouri has a water main break. There's a boil order in place. Appreciate you letting us know that to make sure that people understand what's heading on if you're out in the Pacific area. St. Charles, by the way, had an all weekend one, which was a nightmare. All because a construction company broke a water line. That's all it takes for something like that to happen. Ryan checks in on the chat line and says, I can't believe some of the ugly glassware and place settings my mother had in the 70s that are actually valuable now. I know. Not only do they consider antique, but it's like, oh, vintage. Look at that. Look how cool that is. Because you start to design things differently. Art is art. And people may see things that are a little bit different and go, oh, I like that. Art is in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Also, I have 2 plastic bins of vacuum tubes.
I believe it.
Old school analog. Okay. I don't know if that's worth money or not. Appreciate you jumping in. I don't know if you can make cash or not with that. But some of those items are out there for people to see, for people to hear, and what they're talking about and doing. Okay. One of those things that we were also talking about today, as we get into, and we'll get in, I just wanted to get to this really quick. Top 10 cities, because St. Louis is not one of them. That's right now. But cities where home prices are expected to skyrocket in the next year. And skyrocket means percentage points up. Not a lot, but some. Atlantic City, New Jersey, 2.9%. They're bouncing back. And the construction of casinos and hotel projects are bringing back some life to the area. So there you go. I have no idea where Kingston, New York is. But Atlantic City, projected price increase here next year, 2.9% on homes. Kingston, New York, boomers are leaving New York City. Kingston is a city nestled in the heart of Ulster County, right at the base of the Catskill Mountains. Oh, yeah. I've been told about the Catskills. That's where Megan and her family did some vacationing. Price increase, 2.2%. Knoxville, Tennessee, coming in at 2% projected increase. And I hear a lot about Knoxville. I've got a friend who's working in Knoxville right now. It has a really big job market that's going well. So a lot of people, I know somebody who also moved from the St. Louis area to Knoxville. The city apparently has a good investment for buyers looking for steady rental income. with long-term appreciation to add to their retirement. About Torrington, Connecticut, 1.9% in the next years. This one surprised me a little bit. Rockford, Illinois. I've been to Rockford several times, just outside of Chicago. Allegedly, opportunity to invest in property without a significant upfront cost, and it's making it easy for first-time home buyers. So they're seeing a lot of people come to that area, which is increasing the prices. Other towns listed: Concord, New Hampshire, 1.7%; Pottsville, Pennsylvania, 1.7%; Fayetteville, Arkansas, 1.6%; Norwich, Connecticut, and then another Pennsylvania town, East Stroudsburg. So you get some of the ideas of where people are moving, why those areas are expected to go. And I love the polling just to see where people had thought. So just in the 2%. And then we'll have to wait and see also if Jerome Powell cuts those interest rates, which could happen here too before the end of the year, which could change a lot of what we're starting to see when it comes from many of the areas of who's moving, who's buying, where the products are happening, those sorts of things, because you have to wait and see what's going on with it. Okay, this is a fun story to talk about. If you've been out at restaurants throughout the St. Louis area, you're looking around, right? You're seeing the ambiance, the decor, maybe people who were there. What does it feel like? What does it look like? What does it smell like? When you walk in, the waitstaff's also looking at you. Who's coming in? I don't care if it's a diner or if it is a top-notch nightclub. If it is a top-notch restaurant, you're being scoped.
Have you ever seen the movie, the movie Waiting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Case in point.
Yeah, that's a good one. Who's in that again?
Ryan Reynolds.
That's right, Ryan Reynolds. It was kind of a gross one.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some gross parts.
What are you noticing as a server when you see them? They said that they read people on a dime, the study that was done. Love it, because I was a server for a little bit, and you could see what they notice first about you is how you respond when they come up to the table to introduce themselves to you. Are you busy? Could you care less? Are you tired? Are you angry? Are you happy? They can see that. They read that on. And maybe you don't give a damn. Because I've got some friends in my life, they're just like, F everybody. I got friends like, oh no, I want to be happy. I want to make sure people feel good. So when the server phrase comes up to your table, are you scrolling at the menu with your arms crossed? Do you stop what you're doing? Do you listen to them? Do you look at them in the eye? Servers say they can tell looking you in your eye. And they like it when you acknowledge them. When you don't, they're just like, yeah, whatever. Saying please and thank you goes a long way. I mean, just think about it. Once again, everything you need to know from life you learned in kindergarten.
Just basic manners.
Basic manners. Well, our friend, Dr. Naputi, it's common sense isn't so common anymore.
Right.
Just common sense, common manners. Hopefully, as parents, if you have kids, you're raising your kids to have manners. Not be weak, but to have manners. I've always said that before. You've heard it. Meekness is not a weakness. It's a politeness. It's a respect factor. Did your mom raise you right? Did your dad teach you how to be masculine but polite at the same point in time? These servers also say they can tell about the dynamics at your table, what's going on, because they hear conversations too. They may not know you, but they hear the conversations that are going on. Sometimes we just get so comfortable when you sit down. Just like if you're getting your hair done, you'll share. It's always like stylists are always considered to be the best listeners because you're stopped there. You'll tell a lot of people may want to talk a lot.
Yeah, just try to go into your hairstylist in a bad mood and see what happens.
They can tell, is it two friends? Is it a date? Sometimes people, do you even want servers talking to you when you're at restaurants? Hey, just give me the food, give me the specials, and so forth. I'm not kidding. I cannot believe this happened. Okay. I love the place. They're great. I was at 801 Steakhouse in Clayton. about a month and a half ago. So it was a group of like 9 of us. 8 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I think 8 of us. A business meeting. And the server, great at his job, but it literally took him 8 to 9 minutes talking straight to us about all the options. And I'm like, looking, I'm hungry. I'm in a hurry. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? He's still talking. It's 6 minutes. I'm like, 7 minutes. It's 8 minutes. Oh my God, what? Okay, I get it. And it wasn't just me. I'm kind of looking around the table and everybody had the same idea. Now, I know it's a fabulous restaurant and you pay for service, but it was, can he be over the top? Because it was over the top. It was his performance. And we're just like, yeah, we'll do this and do that. I was blown away at how long it took. So yeah, sometimes you want to be respectful, but at the same point, maybe sometimes servers can go over the top too. That was just the experience. And I hadn't had that before there. But they will pick up if you have poor time management as well. I thought that was interesting because, you might be trying to rush them. Hey, it's like, hey, let's go, let's do this. But I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I'll find the server if I need to get out of there. I'll go up and give them a card or whatever. They can't judge how you'll treat them based on your appearance, though. That is one thing. They cannot judge a book by its cover. Somebody may be dressed nice and be a total, what? Or they may be dressed not so great or average and be one of the best customers and tippers you've had all day. So that's the other thing that's coming out of this report when it comes to the whole situation regarding servers, recognizing, looking at who you are, what you're ordering. And I've learned that a little bit too in a short time. You just don't know. And you don't know what somebody's been through, where they're going. And the other thing is sometimes we tend to maybe make assumptions and judge where we shouldn't be. It's like, hey, nothing negative. Don't take it sensitive. Just don't overthink.
I know I don't look like a generous tipper. However, I shock them every time because I've been in the service industry before.
That's
so
exactly it.
I tip really well because I know what it's like to be in that position.
Glenn jumping in. He's like, hey, Vic, 801 servers are trained that way. I know. I get it. I mean, we were approaching 10 minutes for the opening act. And I'm like, I just, I think I drank an entire glass of wine when I was like, just waiting.
Oh my God.
I'm like, come on. I get it. How many specials could you have on a Monday night? But I get it.
The menu's a book.
But man, you were talking about impressive and memorization. I've always thought that was interesting too. Because every day you have to know and be able to memorize and be able to promote and do what you do. And I know that that's a big job and there's a lot of money that are spent. I mean, the bill that was spent that night on our dinner was insane. But still, I was just like, my God, that is crazy, what we had there going on. But good dinner. Great food. Love it. We can talk about best steak throughout the St. Louis area. We're talking about that. Maybe we'll come back and do that too. Since we lost about 40,000 pounds of ribeye yesterday on St. Louis highways, it's like, come on, go figure. That stuff's going on. We love it when you guys jump in on the show. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show. Also letting us know what's happening in your neck of the woods in the St. Louis metropolitan area. Who do you want to give a shout out to? Where would you not go back? And maybe we will jump in. Where is the best steak throughout the St. Louis area? If you're a steak person, and why you think that is, as Glenn jumped in talking about the 801 servers being served that way. We'll get into it. Anything else you guys want to do, we'll do that as well. Art City Now, you can find us on X, YouTube, and Facebook right now. We stream there live. And of course, more about the show and everything we do at luinfo.com. Once again, that's luinfo.com. Projo's alongside. I'm Vic Faust. We are your Lou information station. We are live and on demand at luinfo.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back to talk more about what's happening throughout St. Louis on this August 19th, right after this.
This hour of content on the Lou Information.
Hey, everybody, I'm sure you've heard a lot of the peptide posers out there tell you that your mitochondria is the powerhouse of your cells. Well, it is, but it's more than that. And by the way, most of your mitochondria is exhausted. Your powerhouse is gone. And listen, when they're burned out, it throws off everything. It throws off your body's ability to burn fat, to produce energy, to repair itself, even to keep your brain sharp. Listen, we created something called the cellular reset to help offset that. I want you to understand something, that mitochondria is more than just the powerhouse of the cell. It's the nuclear reactor of your body. You're supposed to have tens of thousands, sometimes millions of mitochondria in certain cells of the body. As we age, not only does that mitochondria production go down, but we also lose those mitochondria. So this tripeptide formula has clinically proven to improve metabolism, brain function, energy. It can even help you burn fat and gain muscle at the same time. So if you're looking to reset your metabolism, get that youthful, vibrant you back again, the Cell Reset is something that you must check out to repair yourself and get your body back to where it should be. Go to trybiolimits.com. Hey guys, it's Dr. Eric Deputy. Hey guys, it's Dr. Eric Deputy. I hope you're having a great day today. Hey, let me ask you a question. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you tired of being lied to by a broken system that is just not giving you any solutions? Are you looking for the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Then here's what I want you to do. Go to trybiolimits.com/ArchCity now. That's trybiolimits.com/ArchCity now. And I want you to join the movement. Listen, your doctor's not going to save you. The hospital's not going to save you. You've got to save yourself. The opportunity for that is now. Go to trybiolimits.com/ArchCity now.
Federal authorities seized the monkeys, which were believed to have been poached from the wild in 2024. They were sold as exotic pets. The St. Louis Zoo hopes for the passage of the Captive Primate Safety Act, a bill that would regulate the possession of non-human primates for use as personal pets. A St. Louis man and a Troy, Illinois man have been charged after allegedly stealing over $1,200 of product from Menards in St. Anne. Michael Jackson and Seth Blaisdell allegedly took merchandise from the store at 11140 St. Charles Road on August 3rd and took off, reaching a speed of more than 100 miles per hour. We're the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. I'm Jen Austin.
Now, louinfo.com weather, presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports, anytime, anywhere.
Here's your louinfo.com weather update. A few showers or thunderstorms, a slight possibility today. The heat and humidity continue. We'll be in the mid-90s, and our heat index at about 105. Then tonight, we have a little cold front dropping in. Might bring us a shower or thunderstorm. We'll be in the mid-70s, and then a break from the heat and humidity coming up on Wednesday. Maybe a shower, partly sunny, upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
St. Louis's new home for the best in sports coverage is STL Sports Central. Find them on YouTube or at stlsportscentral.com. With names like Randy Carricker and Bernie Miklasz leading the way to provide you with the latest news and commentary on all of your favorite St. Louis sports teams, along with great written content and post-game shows after every St. Louis sports team plays. That's STL Sports Central, online or on YouTube.
The Lou Information Station, a whole new way to enjoy content created just for those of us in the St. Louis area. It's a whole new way to advertise and promote your business. Reach out and find out just how different we are. If you're tired of one-sided advertising offerings or your traditional media rep trying to shove digital marketing down your throat, visit luinfo.com and click on advertising. Or email partnerships@luinfo.com for more information. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. Good morning. 7:33 is the time, August 19th. It is Tuesday. It's hot. It's going to be around 95 degrees again throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area with a tough heat in the sea. Yeah, we know about that. There could be some more of those pop-up storms, the thunder that rolls in. Just been bizarre and weird lately. I've seen thunder and no rain, and then sunny and thunder, and then some drops, and you name it, we've gotten it. But after today, we get a little bit of break with the heat, so that's cool. We're here Monday through Friday, of course, 6 to 8 a.m. Myself, you'll hear Pro Joe. You'll hear his voice. You'll see him sometimes in the other room where he produces from. And we're grateful that you're with us, talking everything St. Louis and taking national stories, localizing them, and just have talk for you guys as we get you up and out the door each morning, 6 to 8 a.m. By the way, Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former St. Louis Blue Cam Jansen and St. Louis Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. They follow us every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. They have a NHL hockey star on their guest today, a member from the Four Nations team that did so well earlier in the year. Cardinals got a victory last night. They beat Miami 8-3. Thank God, everything just feels a little bit better when they're winning. At least in my world, it's not changing my day, good or bad, but it's, Cardinals won, good. Final score there was 8-3. They'll try to make it 2 in a row tonight. Mizzou football opening up their season next Thursday night at home against Central Arkansas. Look for the following week as the game with Kansas, which will be absolutely huge. These games sold out, by the way. You can still get individual tickets by going and talking to people as well, going onto those sites. We also give news headlines in this final hour. The St. Charles Data Center, Gonzo. We kind of told you that was going to happen when over the weekend a couple of the St. Charles councilmen said that they were going to vote no to it. Projo's been talking about it. A lot of issues in other areas where the data centers were, where people worried about electricity bills going up and contaminated water for some reason as well.
I am happy with that decision.
And you are happy with that decision as well. So there you go. Glad you did that from the chat line. Great. Go Cardinals. Glad that you guys jump in on that. Big story, too, coming up at 10 o'clock. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe will be announcing who the new attorney general will be, because Andrew Bailey is on his way out. Andrew Bailey is now going to become the co-deputy director of the FBI, working for Kash Patel alongside Dan Bongino, as long as Dan Bongino stays there. If people didn't know, Andrew Bailey interviewed for that main FBI job a while back. Actually flew down to Mar-a-Lago over a weekend. Spent about 8 hours there talking with Elon and Eric Trump and Donald Trump. So I guess I'm not surprised to see him get this position, but it's also a sign for all of us. Just because you interview somewhere and don't get a job, do well, be respectful, because you never, ever know what's going to happen. Don't burn any bridges. You've heard that a long time ago. You never know. Somebody may need you. Things change. I know we like to play it out in our mind. This is how everything's going to work out. No, sometimes you don't know what's going to happen from that standpoint. Before we were going to break, we were talking yesterday, 40,000 pounds of ribeye beef burned up on I-44. Projo said he could smell it all the way to Lincoln County.
I'm sorry, I missed that barbecue.
That was a barbecue. It's a sad, bittersweet moment.
Yeah.
You smell it, but there goes 40,000 pounds of ribeye up in smoke. I'll take that. Well done. A truck carrying 40,000 pounds of this beef somehow, some way caught fire. Something probably with electrical. Truck ended up overturning, and there you go. None of the beef was salvageable. They're figuring out what caused the fire right now, but 40,000 pounds of inventory up in smoke.
Just let me add it with a handful of sea salt.
Yeah, exactly. And a fork.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need a fork.
I don't even need a fork. Yeah.
Of course. Give me a bib. We'll work from there. If you want to jump in on the chat line, you can do that as well. YouTube, X, and Facebook. Arch City Now. You can also give us a call if you want to in this final break. 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. You know that we have different people from an interview standpoint where we cover niches and things of that nature throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. If you guys have ideas for guests, just go to our email, archcitynow@gmail.com. Once again, that's archcitynow@gmail.com. We'll do anything and everything we can to promote the individuals and get those interviews out there as well. Yeah, Greg says served on a hubcap from the chat line. Linda jumped in and said, hate to see Andrew leave. Hope the best for him when he goes on to the FBI. So we'll see. We'll see what happens and who the replacement will be for Andrew Bailey coming up throughout the St. Louis area. I think it's going to be somebody from there, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, if you have any first day stories from your cards, or from your pictures, let us know. Also, if how the cell phone situation was working out after a couple days with your kids. I know there were some parents concerned that they wouldn't have quick access to their kids necessarily if they don't have their cell phones on them, or kids have access to their parents from that standpoint. That is also something that's going on. And what are the best steak places? What are your favorite steaks in St. Louis? If you had to pick one, there's so, and choosing between, these are the toughest things. Choosing between like good and great or a bunch of really goods, that's tough. It is. But if you had, and there might be one little thing that puts it over the top for you. If there is one that you like better than anybody else, then let us know. And I'll throw it out there too. And there's so many choices and I don't want to take everybody's choices. So I know it was right out of the gate. Todd goes, Annie Guns, before I could even get it out of the gate. Yes. Annie Guns. Glenn says, we grew up with no access. You're right. Absolutely. With cell phones. I get it. The thing I hear most of the time, I don't hear dads. I hear moms being like, well, what if something happens? What if somebody gets into school? What if there's an intruder? Those are things that I've heard from some moms. Donna's throwing out her Texas Roadhouse. Of course, Annie Guns. You guys jumped in on that really quick. Annie Guns. Yeah, of course. Annie Guns. I know. I'm going to throw another one out there. I'm going to throw out Ruth Chris, and you guys may beat me up for that, but I do like Ruth Chris, but it's the whole experience. They have some amazing sides at Ruth Chris. But Annie Guns, of course. How can you ever complain about Annie Guns? It is off the charts at Annie Guns. Yeah, I get it. So those are two. And of course, I told you I was at 801, which kind of started that. 801, fabulous as well. But they also have amazing, and I'm not a prime rib guy, never have been, but they have some really, 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 really good prime rib at 801 as well. Okay. From the chat line, Twisted Tree gets a shout out. Yeah, no doubt about that. I get it. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you too. Promoting from a St. Louis standpoint where they are. And it also depends on how you like your steak when it gets into that situation and who cooks it best. Because we all know you've been somewhere too. And you may be like, oh, I want it medium, but then medium comes back looking like barely done. And then sometimes you may say, give me, medium rare and it's overcooked. So somebody's got to do it the perfect way.
Lisa says Andrea's Steakhouse. I don't know where that's at.
Well, as a kid, I grew up, I loved it. It was the first most incredible steak I ever had. Then they have their own. I'm surprised a culinary expert like yourself is not familiar with Andrea's. They had their own sauce that they sold in the grocery stores. You never knew that, Pro Joe?
Never heard of them.
Wow. And you're from here.
Yeah. I guess I don't know my steak.
I don't know. From the chat line, Todd says prime rib. No one wants roast beef if you're going out for steak. I get
don't
it.
know, man. I like a good prime rib.
I know there's a lot of people. I'm not a big prime rib guy.
If it melts in your mouth.
If you want to throw out your prime rib places throughout the St. Louis area, that's good as well. We'll like I said, the platform's yours. It's the people's platform. That's what we do when we're talking about this. It's all about St. Louis. Never, ever, 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 ever can you go down. Oh, Donna says her own homemade ribeye place. Okay. Yeah. You got it. So Annie Guns, Twisted Tree. I threw out Ruth Chris, and I love they're all amazing. I love the super, super, super hot plate. I love how it's served when it's sizzling right in front of you. And their sides are absolutely amazing. They still have that sauce, black sauce. It's really good. I don't know what you're talking about with that, where that is. Ryan jumps in and says, Andrea's sauce is the absolute bomb. They still around, right? So
Apparently they're in
I'm
Edwardsville.
shocked you didn't know about Andrea's.
Never heard of them.
And maybe that was because
I don't get over to Edwardsville very often.
I grew up in the St. Louis area, but I thought there was one in South County. I grew up in St. Louis area, but I went to high school, obviously, at Althoff Catholic in Belleville. And when I was over there, that's when I became familiar with Andrea's.
Gotcha.
And it was an Illinois side place. Very, 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 very good. Glenn says, I have a bottle of Andrea's sauce in my fridge. I'm telling you, Joe, I still can't believe you don't know about Andrea's.
I'm going to have to go now.
Especially the way you'll like it. You will. You're going to like it. It's that good. There's a reason it's been around for so long as well.
I don't eat sauce on my steak, though. I think that's a waste of good meat. So.
Yeah, but it's different. It's not like Heinz or ketchup. And God forbid we're not going to go down this again where people put ketchup on their steak. Yeah, they have the Schnucks sauce. They have the sauce at Schnucks. And they have for some time. Hey, by the way, thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show, what we're doing here as you throw out things, as we talked from a St. Louis standpoint of what's happening in our area, the good, the bad, whatever's going on, restaurants. We got onto that. Yeah, I knew it was only a matter of time before somebody said, damn, now I want some Andrea's, which had been around for a while too. I mean, and we'll have those days. We'll talk.
Let's have an Arch City Now party
best
over
seafood,
there.
best salmon. Because we're in St. Louis, it's not always easy to get seafood here. That's for sure. From that standpoint, we'll go. Linda said, isn't Andrea's in Belleville? I hear it's wonderful. Never been.
I think it was Edwardsville. I don't know.
Somebody said Edwardsville earlier.
Yeah,
I don't know where it is
Lisa,
now.
The person who suggested Andrea's said it was in Edwardsville.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah, it could be. Those are some of the places and there's others that get talked about. Citizen Cane's, we talked about on the show about 3 weeks ago in the Kirkwood area, which got nominated as best steak in Missouri. They do a wonderful job, but I was like, I wouldn't call them best, my humble opinion, but somebody thought that they were absolutely amazing. And then of course we're talking about 801. You get some other opportunities and people and places where there's some fabulous steak that is made. From the chat line, Andrea's sauce tastes more like that's right, marinade than a traditional off-the-shelf sauce. That's true. You'd marinate it.
Gotcha.
And it was addicting, but it had been so long since I'd had it. I kind of forgot about it until we got the show going today when it comes to those things that we're eating. And people are just jumping in and talking about their sauce, their steaks, and why those places are the best. And if there's off the beat, now these are some of the best ones that we were talking about. Is there an off the beat place that may have a best steak, and why, and what kind throughout, what kind of cut throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area that might not be getting the hype, or it may not quite be the price tag that these other steaks are. The platform is yours when it comes to that, because people are always finding a place like, oh, I'm going to try that out. Hey, that might be good. Oh, okay. We can do that over here. This show is all about you guys. St. Louis, what's happening throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., covering every niche, everything, every topic that you can cover throughout our area, what's going on in every town, every community, every municipality. That's what we do here. promoting St. Louis in the summer right now, where there's not a ton going on. There's just not. As school gets back into session, as we said, the dog days of August, just over halfway through a month. August 19th is the date. The time is 7:48. We take you for about another 9 minutes or so, and we go from there. What is Andrea's sauce made of? I have no idea. You could look that up and get the menu list.
What was this stuff you sent me from that old place in St. Charles?
The old place. Was it food related or something?
Yeah, food related.
I sent you something from an old
Yeah,
place.
Noah's Ark.
Oh, that had nothing to do with steak.
Okay, I didn't know. We didn't tease this or anything.
I sent it. But
I went and found a bunch of pictures from it.
Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow.
Okay, I'll
Old
save it.
restaurants
Yeah,
from the
okay.
80s.
Right.
People remember Noah's Ark.
Oh yeah.
We'll get into that tomorrow. Ryan says there's a place down close to SIU Carbondale called Flame. Had not heard of it. Makes sense. What a great name. So Flame. Linda gets a shout out to a place called Porter's in Collinsville. Some of the steak places that may not be the big boys, may not have the big name, but are still providing a big punch when it comes to a great steak at maybe not the price tag of some of the other places. The Bellevue Tavern, Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey, best steak and crab cakes. All right, now we're opening up to the crab cakes, and that gets into a whole different thing. And yes, the best crab cakes I ever had were in Baltimore, so it makes sense. Not even close. I'd heard about them. One bite. Yeah, I'm in. I could eat crab cakes every day here. Thank you. If Baltimore was a little nicer, I would stay there and move there. The crab cakes were that good. Very, very good. Crab cakes for everybody. Tony jumps in on the chat line, says, guys, CB's Chop House in Fenton, not bad. Stony River and Chesterfield. So throwing out some of maybe the, I don't want to say secondary, but maybe not elite places where you're not going to pay as much as you would maybe and be able to get in and get a reservation easily. I'm not even going to give you the time of day for that. I was enjoying talking about savory steak. Well done. Cooked perfect. And somebody had to go to Ponderosa. Okay, funny.
Do you remember Bonanza?
Yes, Ponderosa, Bonanza. Is Ponderosa even around?
I think there might be a choice.
The
to your
home.
left.
Wasn't Ponderosa the home of the buffet?
Yeah.
Hence our conversations recently about buffets and why it is that, at least I know my parents' age, why that age is so big into buffets. I've never been able to get into buffets.
All you can eat, baby.
In college, when I was trying to put tons of weight on. Outside of that, no. Why do we want a buffet?
It was all about getting your money's worth.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheap people.
I bet you got your money's worth.
Oh, I got I put some out of business.
Were you ever asked to leave?
No.
I only asked that because you've shared your story of of losing 200 pounds.
Yeah, I used to weigh almost 500 pounds.
Which is crazy.
I used to frequent some buffets for sure.
They're like, oh, you remember how I told the wait staff sees you and you walk in the door?
Mm-hmm.
And they start making judgments?
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Projo with his own utensils.
VIP.
And his own bib.
Like, we know this guy's check's going to be large. Let's, he's got a tip.
Tony says, oh dear, Bonanza, LOL, man, I'm old. Yeah, of course. Go ahead. Say it, ground round. You got your ground round shout out there. It's all good. It's fine. All good in the hood, buddy. I think that covers most of those.
Nobody mentioned Outback. Not that I've.
Well, I mean, Outback's, I've had when did I have Outback? My kids used to like it. No decent place to get in. What was that? I mean, Outback is, I like the Outback. I'm trying to remember the Outback flavoring. I do, but you know what? Outback has
their
a good
bloomin' onion.
Outback has a good, they have a filet though. They have a really good filet. Now that I think about it, they do a really good filet over there. Sandra says, when I was a kid, I thought the Ground Round on Natural Bridge was a fancy restaurant.
I used to think that about Casa Gallardo.
Yeah, I did. I thought about Casa. No, that is funny though. The Ground Round on Natural Bridge. Woohoo! Yes. We're rolling. We're rolling in it tonight. Thanks, guys, for being a part of the show and jumping in. Donna says, wow, you did a great job, Projo, losing that weight, the 200 pounds. You lost a whole big person off your body. I wonder what that's like, because I talk about doing the rucking where I'll wear a 40-pound weight or a vest, and it took me a while to get used to it, and I'll go for a while. I was wondering when I was walking, I was like, I wonder if that would be like I have an extra 40 pounds.
You know, I wonder
if it's the equivalent.
Right.
Because all that weight is stationed on your upper body, or if when you have that extra weight, was it proportioned throughout your entire body?
I wonder if I could hold up the weight that I used to weigh. Like if I wore weighted jackets to equal what I used to weigh, I wonder if I could still hold that up.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. That is a lot. Suggestions, Flo's Filet, Outback.
Yeah, that's the filet you were talking about.
Oh,
Flo's Filet.
okay. Yeah, the last time I had an Outback steak, it was the Flo's Filet. I'm telling you, it was good. It was. I mean, no shade thrown towards Outback. I mean, it may not be Ruth Chris or Annie Guns, but I was like, damn, this is pretty good. But a lot of times it's also how it's cooked to how you like it.
Right.
Somehow, some way, I got into like, I want my steak medium well. And everybody's like, oh, it's not how you eat a steak. It's not how you eat a steak, Vic. But somehow, some way, my two boys are like, if I ever cook, Dad, you cooked it too much. They want pink. They want it.
I like mine bleeding.
They like it more medium. It's like, how the hell did I raise two kids that want medium steaks?
I've been tempted to eat raw.
And then I found out they're going to their girlfriends' places and they're being cooked differently. And it's like, damn, Dad loses out. I suck. I'm sorry. That's how I like it. Oh, well, that's such is life. Tammy says York Steakhouse at the mall. What mall? I'm not even familiar with York. I feel stupid. Sorry about that. Throwing out some of those ideas. Ryan says, in my small town on the east side, we used to think Red Lobster was fine dining.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the fancy restaurant.
But I read an article, Red Lobster is making a comeback. They had new leadership, new owner, and they're trying to make a comeback. And then guess what it starts with? Actually getting serious about your product, remarketing, and putting a lot of money into it. It was an oldie, long gone, Vic. Okay, I got it. Linda says, I'm a medium girl when it comes to my steak. Totally get it. Also, Outback, I couldn't remember the name. We always went there for my son's birthdays, his favorite place. The Bloomin' Onion, delicious. Of course it was.
Yeah, what was that? Longhorn had Bloomin' Onions too.
Oh, there you go. It all makes sense. Finally, Jack's or Better was a popular restaurant chain. Whoa, back in the 70s. Jack's all over the state was around. So that's that's quite a while. Hey guys, we appreciate you jumping in with us every day. Arch City Now. If you have ideas for guests, you know what we're doing. We're promoting and doing what we can from that standpoint. We appreciate you guys jumping in the chat line, whether you're listening on radio or part of our live podcast. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, to check out all of the programming on this network 24/7, you can go to luinfo.com. And of course, we stream on Facebook, X, and YouTube at Arch City Now. And just let us know, jump in on the show. Check out archcitynow@gmail.com to give us ideas for guests from that standpoint as well. So for Projo, I'm Vic Faust. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday, St. Louis. One more real hot day, and then we get a little bit of a break when it comes to the temperatures and maybe towards fall. Who knows? We'll see where it goes. Have an awesome day. Hot Take Central 2.0 is coming up next. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at luinfo.com. That does it for us. I'm Vic Faust. Have a great day.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not.
Hey, everybody. Peptide posers are everywhere right now, selling you things that you don't need, and half the time that they don't even understand how they work. Well, let me tell you about something. The Neuro Reboot formula isn't just another peptide fad. It's an advanced peptide bioregulator built to actually optimize brain function. Listen, it fires up your metabolism and it helps your cells renew from the inside out. It helps the body produce something in the brain called BDNF, which is the miracle grow of the brain. As we get older, that BDNF production goes down. So we lose focus, we lose metabolism, we get those senior moments in life. Listen, the Neuro Reboot can help reset that. It can help refire and rewire your brain. I, as a functional medicine doctor, take this every day, and so do all of my patients. And it helps them with things like anxiety, depression, insomnia, focus, concentration. And what it's doing for people's motivation is off the freaking charts. So if you're interested in finding out about real peptides that really change your brain, the Neuro Reboot is for you. Go to trybiolimits.com/ArchCity now.